This is a folding grill table. I was sent this to review for free. If you wanted to purchase it, its MSRP is about $130. I've seen it online for sale for $99. They haven't paid me for this review, and my opinions remain my own. So there was a lot of styrofoam packed in between everything here, but these are the major pieces. You have kind of the main table with the legs, then you have this little side table piece that was kind of packed inside of it. You have another little side table piece, and then this trash bag holder here. So the manual tells you how to open it, which is kind of the unpacking procedure, except there's a whole bunch of styrofoam in there you got to pull out at the right times. But basically, you unlock the lock, you pull the legs out, and then you can basically extend the legs farther if you want, and then fold down this brace that kind of goes between the legs and, you know, goes between the two legs there. Then you can fix this extra side panel to the side, and there's like a condiment bin that you have to slide and pull out, and that fits to the front of this guy. And then you can tighten a few things up and put paper towel holders, and you know, they have hooks that you can hang things off of, and then they have the trash bag bracket which hooks in place. Alright, so this is the folded form with everything inside. The weight of this whole thing here, it's about 16.4 pounds. Alright, so let's go through the unpacking procedure. There is a catch here that keeps everything in place, so you release that and pull this up. This leg comes out, and then you can pull this guy out, but to do it you kind of have to go up here and make sure you don't have any hooks caught on anything, and pull that out that way. Put that to the side. Then this leg can pop up, and this guy here, if you push the button in and pull out like that and pull a little bit more, it snaps in place. These legs can go up farther. So the bag holder is stuck in there, and this condiment tray you pull that way and lift out, and it's kind of held that way by these magnets. One of the magnets has pulled out of this plastic holder here, so I think I need to put a little glue. So this top magnet kind of tends to pull out of the plastic holder. You know, it needs a little more glue there, I think. So after you get the condiment tray and the bag holder out, you can extend these legs farther up. So these legs here will, if you push a button, pop out to a couple of different settings. That's the farthest one. So you just push a button here and then move it past various settings for the different heights. And then you can tighten this guy to give it a little more stability, and do that for all four legs. And at that point, you can lift the table and set it up. Alright, we've lifted the table and set it up. Now, this extra bit here hooks onto those two screws. Snaps in place there. Condiment holder here snaps into the front of that. It also has these magnets you can use to hold grill tools. So the trash bag holder will go into these leg holes here, and so you have a few options depending on where you have that bottom hook. You know, you could put it in this one if you wanted a lower setup, or in this one up here if you wanted a higher setup. I don't believe you can put it in the super low holes because I think those bolts are going to get in your way. So you really have two options for trash bag height. And you can pick which side to put these extra table pieces on. So you can have this piece go over on this side here, and then you could put the trash bag on the bottom, or you could just keep it low and throw things in the side there. And then this thing here will go on either the front or the back of the little side extension table. All right, so the paper towel holder stows just on this screw here. The whole purpose of that screw is it has a little notch here, so you basically can stick that in there and then tighten it down, and it'll stow there. So when it's not stowed, it hooks into the condiment tray. So on your condiment tray, there's a little hole on each side. This guy goes in and hangs down, and then you just throw paper towels over the top. So it kind of just hangs off to the side like that. And the one extra feature here is the built-in church key. It kind of spills things vertically there. My package had these 3 hooks installed, and they also included a baggie with a couple of extra hooks. Unless you're using these hooks to hang tongs off of and so forth, you might consider removing them, just because they kind of get caught up on things when you're putting that piece away. Alright, so measurement-wise, the main table here is 22.5 by 17. This little add-on table adds in another almost 16 inches by almost 12 inches. And the condiment little tray here is about 10.5 by 3.5, and it's about 2 3/4 deep. Now with the legs at the highest setting, this guy is 30 inches tall, so that's your max height. Alright, so at the max height, it's not super rock solid stable, but it's not bad. It definitely will support some weight up here. All of these pieces of metal are, kind of just a little bit flexible to the push. They're not super thick. From a leg adjustability standpoint, they have 3 little holes here that are maybe a 1/2 inch apart, so you can get, that adjustability from the 29 to 30 inch level pretty decently. You might even be able to use that to level the table on uneven ground. And then they jump up to a hole here, and then the storage hole up there. So when you're putting these legs away, you have to loosen the thumb screw, and they say it's very important that thumb screws be tightened for stability. And then you have to push this up 1, 2, and then 3 to the kind of shorter thing, and then the last 4th one to get it stored. Alright, I have all the legs here set to kind of the almost but not quite stowed position, so there's about 5 inches of leg sticking out. And that puts this guy 23 inches over the ground. So you have a choice kind of between 23, 30, or maybe 29 to 29.5. And this here is the position with the legs fully stowed. And so the height of the table there is 19.5, maybe 19 3/4 inches. So it appears that pretty much every part of this table is steel, including the legs and the top and the handle and most of the hardware. This thing, the separating rod in the very bottom here, that kind of just keeps these legs out, that one is not sticking to my magnet there, so that little section there might be stainless. So the only full flaw I found in this guy was that one of these little magnetic attacher things was kind of pulling out of this plastic. It looks like it had some glue on it, but the magnet pulled it out. I'm just going to put some super glue in there and stick it back in. Alright, let's do a disassembly procedure. So it packs and stores into a relatively small briefcase style package. Only kind of complaint I have about this is that there's no bottom. And so, you can set this down flat and it'll kind of be, the bottom will kind of be protected. But, it only really looks good from that side. If you're storing it against a wall, that's fine. But, there's not really a bottom here. Also, some of these things can get caught, like the little clips, these hooky things on this drawer there, and this bag holder can kind of touch some things here and there, and so it can be a little tight when you're closing things up, and this catch can be a little hard to latch in place. Right, so storage size of this thing is 3.5 inches by about 17 inches by about 22.5 inches. So it comes with a lot of packaging packed inside of things to keep them from rattling around. I think I'm probably going to keep the box and these two end pieces for storage, just because it doesn't have a bottom on its own. So for storage, I think I'm going to be keeping it in the original box, just to keep bugs from crawling inside of it and making a little, whole bunch of nests in that open bottom side there, and then I can take it out when I want to set it up. Alright, so overall it's functional. It'll hold a grill up. It will, definitely work for grilling. I think the price is a little bit high. I would feel a lot more comfortable buying this at probably like the $60–65 price point.